Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, welcome once again to another episode of Advance Wars 2 Hard Campaign. We'll be taking a break from Yellow Comet to go over to Blue Moon, where there are 3 missions available. One of them has a laser, so guess which one I'm taking a pass on. Yes, let's instead start with Olaf's mission. Olaf, in this game, normally has a brown beard. He has a white beard in Japan, but in all other versions of the game, he has a brown beard normally. However, white-bearded Olaf is a color option for Olaf in Advance Wars 2, and I think Advance Wars DS also, so I'm going with the much cooler color for him. Get it? Cool, because ice. Anyways, the white beard is an obvious homage to Santa Claus. However, Olaf is blue instead of red. So this mission, this is an interesting one. This is the mission that confirms that Olaf was in fact born in Blue Moon, even though he is stated in Advance Wars 1 to be a former Orange Star CO. So I have no idea how that happened. It actually seems like it would be a really interesting plot point to expand upon. Olaf being born in Blue Moon, but in the army of Orange Star. Weird. Olaf's proud as always. Showing off. Of course, those of you who have played this game already know what's up with this mission. The first Blue Moon mission is called Toy Box because look at this map. Isn't this just like the most random assortment of tiles ever? Like, this is actually a really creative map idea. Lash has blown up Olaf's hometown, and now you can see the state that it's in. In fact, on normal campaign, the map is actually different. This is a completely different map on hard mode. Like, not completely different. It's still keeping the same spirit, if you will, but it is changed. And that is interesting. Not all of hard mode's maps are completely different maps from normal mode. And Lash basically just tells us that the lab map is in this mission. Better in this location than where you find it in the other countries, I think. In fact, I remember which city it's in. It's right here. If you capture the city, you unlock the mission that unlocks Neotanks for Blue Moon. And, you know, Neotanks for Blue Moon might actually be a good idea, considering the gimmick of one of their COs. But at any rate, let's get started. It's just a basic, no-nonsense map. No gimmicks or anything, besides the map design, obviously. I'm going to make a beeline for this base first, and then hopefully capture this base as well. That's a much harder one to take if you don't take it slow. This mission, unfortunately, can take quite a while, especially with that medium tank guarding the HQ. But we can lure it off, no problem. So first thing we're going to do, obviously, is we need to get us some cities. We need lots and lots of extra money. Let's see, this tank can go all the way up there. Let's drop off the mech here. And part of me wonders if I should be using that mech to take down the tank that's coming my way. Because Lash starts with a tank already coming for you. Oh, but it's actually, like, not eager to rush in and get destroyed. That's interesting. Alright, so maybe I could use the, APC to lure it in. Suppose I could try that. Or I could have the APC go back for a, infantry. In fact, let's have it go back. When I have the artillery in range, can it attack the mech? No, it cannot. When I have the artillery ready to fire at it, I will lure it in. Oh, it's actually coming in already. Interesting. Alright, so the base is very easy to take down, and I don't know why I built this infantry here. It's not going to really be used for anything, I don't think. So, let's see. That was a lot more damage than I would have liked on the tank. So I have played this map before, and it took a while. It took like 20 turns, which is more than I would have liked. Like, for a map this size, 20 turns is maybe a little bit too much, but I suppose I was playing poorly, and will probably go faster the second time down anyways. So that's a nice spot for the artillery, because you can fire at the infantry that's trying to capture it, the city there. Now then, we have the money for tanks, and we have that central base, so let's start putting them out. I suppose destroying this tank is not a bad idea. The infantry is going to get hit by the recon, but that's fine. So another thing that might interest you about this recording is that I have actually switched over to the newest version of OBS. Like, I've been using OBS this entire time, but it's been a really, really old version, so, yeah, I have no idea why I didn't think to check for an update at some point. But if it means the quality is going to improve, then that's a good thing. Unfortunately, it looks like that infantry is going to get that factory. There's not going to be a way to stop them. So that's unfortunate. But with an artillery in this position, and maybe eventually a rocket as well, we should be able to, like, just shoot at anything that comes out of that base anyways. What is that tank doing? It went down there? There's nothing down there. I don't know why it went down there. Okay. A little bit strange. Let's see here. That rocket, that pre-placed rocket, is also a bother. Like, it's in exactly the position you wouldn't want it to be in. Alright, I guess I have to blow up the infantry now, otherwise it'll capture. I mean, like, denying Lash 1,000 gold per turn, I guess it's gold. Like, denying her one city is not going to, like, break the map or anything, but it's always good to deny your opponent money. Alright, so I will have to have these two wait for repairs while we send out some more artillery. Lots of artillery use in this map. Makes you wonder why they don't just send out grit to this map. Well, I know why they don't do that, because it's Olaf's hometown, and Olaf would obviously want to save his own hometown himself. So yes, pride getting in the way of the tactical decision, as always. That's standard for the guy. Oh, and so is me making some questionable decisions, apparently. Right. Yeah, you can see that if you fire from the base, obviously you're not going to be able to build anything on it. I've been a little bit reckless with my tanks. It's probably going to get destroyed on this turn. The mech's got enough HP to make it happen, especially if he uses the defensive boost. Oh no, he went for... Oh, the infantry attacked it while on the base, so she couldn't build anything. Oh yeah, and because the map size is so small, and the there's a lot of roads and stuff, this is actually a really bad map for Olaf, because Blizzard can't do anything. You could use Winter Fury, but still, not going to be able to do a whole lot with it. The map is small, as I just said. So, like, it's not as powerful as it would be Winter Fury if you were on a bigger map, because then there would be more units to actually cause damage to. Lash is not using her steel power. That's interesting. She's got just enough to use it, but she decided to pass. Right. We're slowly inching our way forwards. And I think it's time we start taking advantage of the infantry trick. Like, I might not have even needed that APC, although I started the map with that APC, so it's fine. Destroy the mech or don't destroy the mech. I'm gonna say... it's the only... It's gonna have 7 HP, so it's the only, like, decently strong unit. So it probably would not have been worth moving my artillery off the base. Besides, I've got plenty of units here already. Like, if you've got plenty of units to work with already in the fray, like, don't worry about using that base to actually get more. Work with what you've got, if you can afford to wait. And I certainly can. Probably should have... Nah, it's fine, I'll just use the tanks. Alright, so let's get in. And, let's give this rocket a choice. This is something interesting I'm going to do. Either the rocket can fire at the tank and save its APC, or it can fire at the infantry and stop its base from getting captured. Like, I'm sure she'll just build something out of that base anyways, but you never know. More tanks, I guess. And I can afford an artillery down here, so I'm actually going to break through those pipes and start capturing the cities there for more money. Ah, she went for the infantry. Oh well, I was hoping she wouldn't. And it was a one-shot, too, which is actually very interesting. So I need to be able to, I have to fire at this with the tank, I think. No, actually, I will fire at the mech with a tank and block this base with my own tank. Yeah, I like that result. Lost only 1 unit so far, which is really, really good. Though I have made some interestingly suboptimal moves. So not the best playing overall so far. And this should do decent damage. Okay. Does she have her super yet? Oh, she has it. Of course, there's not a lot of direct combat units that are in a good position to fire at me, so this should be okay, I think. Oh, that was weird. Did any of you notice something weird with the emulator there? That was probably nothing. I'm probably seeing things. Alright, so this 4 HP tank can attack. Blow up that artillery. And, I guess we can destroy this. The artillery can sit on the base. And this artillery is back to full, so we'll keep it moving. I've got enough money for rockets if I so desire it. And I don't really. I'm getting through just fine. This tank is all the way down here. What is it doing? When did it get there? Okay, let's, maybe she wants to stop me from getting those cities? Let's build another artillery down there. I've got the money for it. Right, so another point of interest is going to be what we do with that medium tank, because we have to get in there and destroy it eventually if we want to do an HQ capture. Actually, she's been making mechs out of these, out of this base up here. So I say, like, if you want to avoid the rocket completely, you could go south through this area right here, but that infantry is making this difficult, because if I fire at it, then I have to take artillery damage. I guess there's no choice. Right. Now we can actually start moving units closer. So it did take us a while to get into the groove, if you will. But, looks pretty good to me, I would say. This is not a bad mission by any means. Maybe it takes a while, maybe it doesn't. Alright, Lash, what's next? I know for a fact that the other mission we're going to play in this video, totally, well, it doesn't take too long. I guess it's an okay mission. Let's go ahead and use the superpower. That'll, the max damage will delay the infantry from capturing my city, so I don't need to actually fire at it. I just noticed that he has a green, like, satchel around his waist. A green satchel? When have satchels ever been made in green? That's a really weird color. Ah, well. Now, it's also worth noting that Lash's CO powers don't really work in snow. But, other than this mission, I don't think it's ever really been relevant. Well, there's 2 missions with Olaf, so in the other one, it would be relevant. Let's go ahead and do that. I might need to set up a power turn eventually. I should probably be paying attention to that. Oh, the APC is almost out of fuel. Still silly to see that. Let's go ahead and do this. And that's all for this turn. Oh yeah, that really cut into... That actually cuts deeply into Lash's funds because she's forced to pay the repair costs for the medium tank. 16 turns so far. Now it's up to the medium tank. What will it do? Well, I know what it's going to do. We definitely got to watch our positioning here because we've got to move into a spot where Lash will not get any firepower bonuses, and that's going to be this forest because the Shoal has 0 defense stars. But the artillery cannot fire at it. Well, we now have control of that base. And more units are going to be coming in eventually anyways. So I think one way or another we will have this map in the bag eventually. And I have in fact allowed the units in the top of the map to take control of that city I had. Now we can start moving towards these cities. I don't think they're gonna, like, swing the game in my favor or anything, but still. I've lost 2 units so far. Kind of unfortunate, but you know, some losses are acceptable. Still gotta worry about that rocket. If I set my artillery up here, then they will be able to fire at the medium tank. I really want to attack that tank, so I'm going to intentionally block off my base. I just want to get rid of it right now. I will just build from the base behind it instead. And now we can start getting at these cities. I should probably be using what's left of that APC's fuel tank to get a mech over to the HQ, because we're going to be able to take it really quickly. Let's block off that base. Trap this infantry. I don't think the APC has enough fuel to really make it down there. So what I'm going to do is... I can't move there because of the rocket. So I will build a second APC, just in case. What are we at? We've lost 4 units. I guess I lost track of that at some point. Oh no, there's a recon on the HQ. That's dangerous, I guess. I know someone's gonna say, don't mess with recons. Well, that recon is now completely trapped. I suppose I could capture that city that has the lab map in it just to show what happens, I guess. Something like that. Movement is so cramped in here. This is really a map that Grit should, in theory, be taking on himself. I'm probably going to forget those infantry are even there. Alright, we have a Lash Super, which probably means she'll blow up the Recon, because the Recon now has 8 stars. And that's a big firepower boost for Lash. Oh yeah, I was right. What do you know? Hope she doesn't build anything crazy. Oh, and artillery's not that crazy. I might have Super very shortly anyways. Well, what is crazy is how much defense she has now. Yeah, she's gonna really stall me here, but, you know, hopefully it's not enough to completely ruin my rankings or take the rest of the video. But I do think I have, like, the basics of the map down. You know, I've been staring at this the entire time, and I only just now thought to talk about it. What is that port doing there? There's not nearly enough money for Navy units. That port just makes no sense. Alright, she's not getting anything new. I am losing way too many units. I've got to stop that. Oh, now I've got a super. I should have... if I had been able to use it before firing at that recon, it would have been much better. But I suppose it's better late than never. Like, I should have probably attacked something else to get it instead. But shoulda, woulda, coulda. And here's the map. There's a big dialogue when you get the city. Yeah, all 4 labs are working on the same weapon, by the way, the Neotank. What's so bad about using enemy weapons? If you picked up one of their guns, you'd still want to use it, right? Anyway. Can I destroy this artillery in one hit now? No. Not without a lot of luck. Anyway, we should have that HQ secure shortly. I've been taking way too long with this. Rocket's down to 6 HP, so I don't imagine it firing at me now would do a whole lot of damage. Yeah, like, why bother moving all of these things, right? Well, I just want to be sure. Yeah, only 3 points of damage on the tank from the rocket. Amazing what losing a little HP can do to a unit. Now let's get rid of that. I don't want to risk the mech taking some damage. Alright, so we've basically won now. And I guess I'll just end turn here. There's really nothing more to do on the map. I'd imagine I would have met the power requirement long, long ago, so let's go ahead and capture. Yep, his house was in Blue Moon. I still don't really get it. It didn't bother you at all because you could just make it happen anyways, Olaf. I guess as long as people punched you enough, if the CO mechanics work in all situations besides war? I don't know. Mission complete. Oh, that's gonna be an A rank. Yep, not enough power. I should have set up a power turn at some point. Anyways, as you can see, like, I should have brought this up a long time ago, but every mission has its own unique background on the victory screen. Pretty neat attention to detail. Like, even if I think Advance Wars 2 is not as good as the first game, there's still a lot of detail packed into it. Anyways, the second mission we are playing today is the Grit mission. This one takes far less time and is probably a lot more fun too. So let's get into it. We're up against Adder, who we've seen plenty of in the Yellow Comet campaign. Oh, Bearded One, he did it! He finally said one of his Advance Wars 1 sayings. The second mission is simply called Tanks, because tanks. Tanks. You really couldn't come up with anything else for the mission title? I do like how they play up Adder as kind of a sneaky character, because he's actually trying to recruit Grit into Black Hole. Yeah, they know who they want on their side. They know Grit's overpowered. Actually, that's only really half true. If it's just ground units, then definitely Grit is overpowered. But if you introduce airports into the mix, he suddenly loses a lot of that overpoweredness because he doesn't have a good counter to air units. I mean, what are you going to do? Use missiles? They're too expensive. And his anti-air units are weaker. So that's why Grit is not considered the best CO in the game anymore. We all know it's Hachi and Colin anyways. Of course, Adder's one weakness is that he doesn't really know how to talk to his enemies. Like, when you're talking with important people in other nations, you should probably know a little bit about how they think. Alright, so the gimmick of this mission is that you have a bunch of, indirect units. I almost said anti-air, I don't know why. You have indirects in forests in a Fog of War mission, and you're basically going to shoot at the giant blob of medium and neo-tanks as they advance past you. So let's go ahead and take the first shot. I like to focus down the neo-tanks first because they're obviously much more powerful. But, you know, all units both medium tanks and neo-tanks might as well be the same when it comes to this mission. They're both defeated in 2 hits by any of your indirects, really. We just have to, I'm going to leave these 2 units right where they are, and this one too. Move this rocket a little closer. And there are missile silos on the right side of the map, so you want to send your mechs over there. I think we're good to go. This map is another good example of how not to spend too much of the player's time, because there's not a lot of units on your side, and therefore not a lot of decision-making they have to do. So it won't take as long. And there's a healthy number of enemy units as well. You want to watch those mechs. There are enemy mechs on this map. And here's the tutorial for the missile silos. There are enemy mechs on this map. You've got to be careful of that because they can pick off a rocket that's sitting on a road. Especially considering Adder's CO powers. You got to keep those in mind too. Like, mechs, it turns out, are pretty nice in mountain-heavy maps if you've got a CO that can increase their movement range. Zippity-doo-dah. What a weird quote. Right, so let's go ahead and start working on the mediums. Oh yeah, you can one-shot tanks on a road with Grit's rocket. It's really nice. Okay. Something tells me I should place the mechs for protecting the rockets from enemy mechs, but, sure, why not? It'll lure the enemy right into our range. Just like a Mirror Darkly, there are some techniques you can employ involving using mechs on mountains as a distraction. Right. Yep, he's got a super. This won't add any extra attack power, at least. And I don't think he can really get to any units, although now his units won't be as clumped because they'll now be spread out. Oh yeah, that's a really good position for the artillery, by the way. Even if an enemy spots it, there's still time to shoot them out before they can actually fire at it. Like, it takes 2 whole turns to fire at a unit in a position such as that, because you have to spend the first turn revealing them. So that's pretty nice. Let's go ahead and launch this silo. Let's launch it. I want to catch this Neotank in the blast radius. 3 damage, that's not exactly as strong as like any of your indirects, really. But it does get spread to a lot of units. Alright, so ooh. Left that one at 1 HP. It should be safe to fire at it like this. I'm gonna go ahead and focus down the mechs. I really don't want my rockets to take any damage. Maybe I can lure out that recon. I'll go ahead and lure out that recon. Because that artillery is actually not really doing a whole lot down there. Oh boy, they're going for the mech that just fired a silo at them. Must be out for revenge. Alright, I would like a little bit of vision, so let's get this recon here. I can't really see anything that's hidden. So, do I send the silo this way or that way? Well, we'll have another silo soon anyhow. So I'll go ahead and use it on these units up here. I know there's more, like that tank. I was kind of hoping to catch it in the blast radius. Oh, whoops, I should have fired at this Neotank instead. That was silly. Not a huge mistake, though. Alright, going good so far. I haven't even lost any units. Oh, but I have managed to allow my mech to take a hit there. Well, not a huge problem quite yet. I should have used Super Snipe. I completely forgot that I had it. We've got one more silo we can use. Let's give it to... I don't really know who to use it on. Well, probably should have... Wow. 1 HP mech fires at 1 HP mech. 1 HP mech wins. I'll wait to use the silo. Alright, so brace yourselves, we're gonna lose more units. Because I should have fired at the 1 HP... Well, they went for capturing instead, so maybe this won't be so bad. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. Could have been worse. Alright, now it's time. Where's the fool who wants to practice targets? I mean, target practice. I mean, whatever his quote was. You've seen it a dozen times at this point. Oh yeah, be wary of your rockets running out of ammo. That's something that can happen too. You'll want to get them back on the cities. You don't have any APCs for refueling. Let's go like, that's probably okay. Oh, and we still have that silo. I completely forgot about it again. I keep thinking, oh, I should wait to use it. I should wait to use it. Well, I've gone ahead and used it. So this should be over in a matter of moments. Because I don't see any more enemies besides what you're seeing right now. And I have not run out of ammo at all, so that was good. That's all of them. Frosty. And it's back to bed for Grit. You know, it's a good thing this came out in 2003 and not like 2013. Otherwise, I know for certain that there would be a bunch of Frozen jokes in the dialogue. Just because of the name of the commanding officer of Blue Moon. Well, that's that. And it's a perfect S rank. Very good. I was hoping to make up for the abysmal A rank I got in Toy Box. Alright, so that's it for the first 2 missions of Blue Moon. Next time we will take on the second set of missions. Should be very interesting. I know there are some very intriguing levels in this set. So I'll see you for that later, everybody.